Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. As always, I've missed you guys. I hope everybody is sticking with the challenge, and I hope that you are making your tomorrow better than your yesterday. I am still sticking with the challenge. I am still fighting the battle of the bulge, and I am still coming down. With that said, I have something a little more serious on my mind that I'd like to address. Some of you I have never tagged before, and I hope that you won't be offended that I did. But this message, I think, needs to go out everywhere, and I didn't type in the message above the video to share, but please press share today. Being a hairstylist and a motivational speaker, I meet a lot of people, specifically in the beauty salon environment, and people tell me a lot of their secrets, a lot of their family secrets. And one is very prevalent to me. I think about it every time I watch the news, which is why I don't watch the news very often. Mental illness is what I'm talking about. It's a big family secret, guys. It is taboo to talk about. You know, there are a lot of cliche things that are said. Black people don't go to counselors, you know, we don't. All of that's well and good, and maybe that was what was the trend, you know, in the past. But we talk about legacy. I talk about legacy to you guys all the time. Leaving a legacy of bad behavior, misunderstandings. This right here is one of the most unhealthy bits of legacy that have been passed on from one generation to the next. That mental illness should be a big secret. People don't want to admit that that's the case. People don't want to go get help for it. Of course, if you can't admit it, you don't want to get help. There's so many different stigmas that go along with it. There's shame, there's embarrassment. It's really, really, really horrible. When you watch the news, pay attention to what they're saying about people. A lot of these people are mentally ill. A lot of them are using drugs. A lot of them are using drugs because they're mentally ill. People are fighting just to feel normal. They're trying to feel normal, and they want to be able to function like everyone else, but they can't. If you see it, I need you to be able to recognize it, and I need you to not be fearful of stepping up and saying something. Help your family by any means necessary. I'm going to give you a few phone numbers real quick. National Suicide Prevention Hotline, 1-800-273-TALK. 1-800-273-8255. What about our military people? We have a whole lot of veterans out here going through a whole lot of struggles, a whole lot of different types of issues that cause depression, PTSD. Come on. For military veterans, they have Military One Source for veterans. It's 1-800-342-9647. 1-800-342-9647. There's another one, Veterans Crisis Hotline. 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-8255. If you call that one, press 1. I need you to start watching for symptoms. People who are overly depressed, people who are overly angry, people who are isolated and quiet. They don't want to deal with too many people, especially if you notice that it's a change in what had been normal for them. They could just be temporarily going through a season of depression. It may not even be something that they regularly display, that you could even see a history of. So watch for it. It is especially tough for me when I hear people talk to me about someone who is mentally ill and they have children. Guys, people who are mentally ill cannot properly care for children. They can barely properly take care of a pet. It's because the way they see the world and what seems normal and functional to them can be very different than what's healthy and what could be helpful to children. I hear plenty of stories, like I said, in the beauty salon environment where people are dealing with this type of family secret. It has to be talked about. It has to be spoken of. You got to weigh it out, especially when there are children involved. Are your fears and feelings more important than what could be happening to those children? I'm talking about children who are being mentally, physically, and sexually abused. I'm talking about children who don't even have just the daily necessities. I'm talking about situations where a person just seems, well, that person is mean or that person is evil. When you say things like that, you could very well be talking about someone who's suffering from depression or who is mentally ill. I have a list right here of names of people. Jennifer Holliday comes to my mind first. And the reason being is she has outwardly talked about depression. And if you ever listen to, go back and Google her. Google stories about her. You'll hear people say she was such a bitch. She was so hard to work with. She was lonely and depressed, and she was isolating herself on purpose, and she was eating herself to death on purpose. She didn't know what else to do. When you're locked in that mindset and you don't know what else to do, then you could end up dealing with destructive behaviors. It could be food, it could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be abusing other people, it could be abusing yourself. People need help, and I need us to get out of the habit of, hey, that's not my problem. I don't want to have to deal with all those children. If we say something and go in and these kids get taken away from this person, then I may be stuck with these children. What do you mean? I get it. I get it. I don't want any more children than I gave birth to either. And my last child is 16. I don't want to start over. But let one of my relatives need somebody to take their children. I'm going to have to suck it up and do what I have to do. And it could just be for a season. It could be just long enough for that person to get help. Guys, take it very seriously. Mental health is taking a turn for the very, very worst. I promise you, the majority of the stories that you see in the news, you would be surprised at the high percentage of those people who are actually just dealing with some type of mental illness or depression. Reach out and help your family. They may reject the help. Then that means you have to get with other family members. You need to call these hotlines and figure out creative ways to reel them into getting some help. Reel them in. They need to be made comfortable that it's not going to be judgment involved. They need to be made comfortable that there shouldn't be any embarrassment, that you love them and care for them enough that you really just want to help. Guys, if you're not selfish to do anything else, I'm constantly telling you to be selfish and take care of you. This is a part of taking care of you. This is your family. You're leaving a legacy. If you're walking around with blinders on, pretending not to see the uncle in the back room or the people that we say, well, you know how they are. That's just how well, they've always been that way. Well, there's probably always been a problem with them. If you're one of those people who is doing that, what you're doing is brushing the problem underneath the carpet, and it's not getting better. You're not helping them. You're neglecting them, and it's not okay. And if the shoe's on the other foot, if you are the person suffering from depression listening to my voice right now, say something to somebody. Pick one person that you can say, man, I am struggling. But you got to say it first to you. Be selfish enough to say it to you. Things don't feel right. I don't like what I'm thinking. I don't like how I'm feeling. I need help. Reach out for help. Pick a person and reach out for help. If you have to inbox me and say I need help, I will help you find help. That's how serious this is, guys. All in love. No disrespect, no pun intended. I don't want to make anybody feel small. I don't want to make anybody feel judged. All I'm saying is, if you know of someone in this situation and you're not doing something to help them, you are a part of the problem. So be selfish enough today. Let's be selfish enough to be a part of the solution. So it's my prayer that everybody who hears me today, everybody who sees this video, even those of you who don't know me very well, because I really randomly did tag some people. And a lot of you got tagged because you know a lot of people. And I need you to share the video because a lot of the people you know need to hear it. Get some help. Be selfish enough to hit share. Be selfish enough to help your family. Be selfish enough to leave a legacy of healthy behavior and growth in your family. My phone is about to go dead for some reason. So all in love, guys, have an amazing day. Still do something selfish for you today. But make sure you reach out and take care of your family by any means necessary. Any means necessary. Have a great day.